Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about having a Virgo Mercury natal chart or Mercury in Virgo. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Mercury signs. And it may have been a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing, well, Mercury in astrology is connected with communication. And Virgo Mercury people may be very analytical, detail-oriented in their speech. They often make line of revising or correcting people as well, which is a habit that some people may be taken aback by. But they can be very eloquent and verbose. Remember, Mercury is in its dignity in Virgo along with Gemini. They can be a little bit pedantic, though. They can, use maybe some people may see them as somebody that's too wordy, but they may perceive themselves as a person that's very articulate and eloquent. Um, Also, in their communications, they can be very punctual and try to be proper. Not use profanity, more than necessary. Very scrupulous when they're speaking, and try to be tactful and diplomatic. But the thing is, of course, you got to look in the natal chart for contraindicators and modifying influences. I had a friend of mine. I used the term loosely way back when. He has his Mercury in Virgo, but what it was too, he had a Sagittarius moon, so he was a little bit more blunt than the typical Mercury in Virgo person. But anyway, Virgo Mercury people can also be judgmental, though at times, and cynical and critical. They might become impatient with those that can't think of things as quickly as they do. They may be drawn to complex issues, and be able to solve them quick. And they're also, communications may often consist of health-related matters, and talking about nutrition or diagnosing things. Now, Mercury is also associated with thinking and assimilating information. So having the Mercury in Virgo, the person may think in a very methodical and systematic manner. That's how the mind may work. The mind may be methodical and systematic and be able to, but may be worrisome as well. There may be a proclivity to worry about matters a little bit more than necessary. But the mind can be very organized as well. This person may do very well, compartmentalizing things, whether it's defragging the computer or whatever it might be, sectioning, like a house, certain sections for this, certain sections for that, etc. Also, to the thinking. Virgo Mercury people can be very detail oriented, be punctilious with details, and their thinking is such where they want to include the details on matters. If they're thinking about an issue, they want to try to compile as much of the data and facts as possible. And speaking of data, the mind may be very good at extrapolating data as well. Whether it could be, sports data and analyzing teams based on that or whatever it might be. They could be very thoughtful too, pensive, I would say, as well. And and to me, Virgo Mercury, people. Well, they're the ones that can think of, solutions fairly quick to matters because again, you have, Mercury is in its dignity in the zodiac sign Virgo. Now, the next thing I want to talk about with Mercury now. Virgo Mercury specifically is that first off, Mercury is associated with siblings, cousins, and neighbors. So having a Virgo Mercury, siblings, cousins, and neighbors, one or more may actually be a Virgo sun, moon, or ascendant person, or embody the characteristics of the sign. They may be people that are very punctual, reliable, health conscious, punctilious with details, tactile, but yet may be a little bit judgmental and cynical about matters. At times it could be very organized and being, perfectionistic. It also could be, people, that might be, Virgo, profession, whether it could be, proofreading or editing or working in some health and fitness. If they're doing something that requires, diagnosis or strong analysis, or doing something like with data entry, systems analyst, as some examples. Now, Mercury is also associated with our early education. So during the early education, for Mercury and Virgo people, it might have been one where they were very, scrupulous and try to be punctual, timely, follow the instructions, being obedient to the teachers, also reliable, getting their homework done on time, having it ready, being prepared for class, having the information that's necessary if they are asked questions, and could also be, I would say, too, Mercury and Virgo person may have taken courses, maybe in high school that are associated with the sign, whether it could be bookkeeping or doing something with data entry if that was available, or systems analysts, or even maybe accounting, something that learning dental hygiene if that actually is a course ever offered in high school. I'm not sure if that is or not, but anyway. Now, Mercury is also associated with short journeys. So the short journeys for Mercury and Virgo people may often be frugal and not one in which they'd want to spend, an overabundance of money on. The short journeys may be done with a certain analysis before embarking on them. And also, too, there may be worrisome as well. There might be, they might be done because, somebody's worried about something. I can remember, that same person I talked about before that has his Mercury in Virgo. I remember that he took what was considered, a short journey. It was in the country, it was in the same state actually, New York, and he drove, from Long Island into the city because he had been, concerned about his girlfriend or something, and he took off and was driving. It seemed like it was pretty fast to get over there. So, a lot of the short journeys may be attributed to worrying about an issue. Um, Also, too, they may be service oriented, whether it's going to someone's house and troubleshooting a computer, or doing something, fixing something in someone's home, or providing some food service. As another example, it could be matters related to errands or health and fitness issues. It could be going to like a health and fitness center, to work out. Maybe issues with pets, going to the veterinarian more so than most people, and just work-related things in general. Now I know, almost everybody, goes to, drives to work regardless of their astrological placements, but it may be more emphasized and accentuated with Virgo Mercury people as opposed to the average person. Now, Mercury is also connected with the rational mind, and things that might affect the rational thinking for Mercury and Virgo people may include being affected, just by worrying in general, or, trying, just to compile too much information and details, and, overwork, stressing from too many things to do, and as far as their workload goes at their place of employment. It could just be general anxiety. Um, I'm thinking if there were any hypochondriac tendencies. I don't know if that word is used anymore, but you understand what I'm saying. If something like that may, affect the rational thinking, or just not being organized, seeing, having things, too cluttered, too disheveled might cause issues with the rational mind for Mercury and Virgo people, I would say. Now, Mercury is also associated with analysis, and the person with Virgo Mercury may often analyze, statistical data. Um, it could be health-related, matters, or data associated with health or nutrition, exercising. The person may be interested in advanced analytics, whether it's sports related, trying to determine who the best NBA player is of all time, as an example, based on advanced analytics, as some examples. And this is just a person, that, again, Mercury being in Virgo in its dignity, you know, it's obviously very good, and they have ability to analyze, more issues, quicker than the average person, without doubt. Now, Mercury is also associated with hands and manual dexterity. So Mercury and Virgo people, they may be, have good use of the hands, doing something with dental hygiene or just general cleaning. Um, it could be doing something, working with health and fitness equipment, repairing that, as some examples. Um, so this is, this is somebody, or if it's diagnosing something, where they need to, have that in general, where it's the strong use of the hands, being proficient in the use of the hands. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.